Today, America Online is making it easier for people to live, work, and play.
When we installed internet access on our computer, I got the whole family involved.
And you play free to use your computer.
Just what is this main artery of the information superhighway?
Stop, you beautiful bastards.
No matter how large, no matter how small, we'll be on the internet in the year 2000. It's the primary way that people will look up information.
Shut up!
When we were there.
Hello and welcome to When We Were There, biased internet history. I'm Thomas.
And I'm Josh, and this is a podcast all about the history of internet content, the who's, the what's, the where's Waldo. We're going to get into it all.
Whether you want us to or not, we do it every week, same time.
Same deal.
Yeah, it's always the same. It's the same show every week. We've actually just been uploading the same clip.
Same episode, the same clip, everything.
Months on end.
Every episode talking about how Kevin MacLeod jerks off with socks, I guess.
Yeah, and no one has noticed.
No one said a thing.
Yeah, it's insane. It's almost like we have no audience.
It's almost like 30 fucking people are watching, and half of them are my aunt and your girlfriend.
That's true. Actually, but that's not true. I got to give a special shout out to Charles Gu, who commented on our YouTube page and said, keep up the good work. So
our first independent
Or was
fan.
it Charlie Gu? Fuck, I think I fucked it.
If his name's Charles, he's going to fucking hate that you called him Charlie. I'm just going to let you know that. If he goes by Charles and you're calling him Charlie,
it's like if you
you're making a
it's
fucking
like
joke
if you
of
called
him.
me Tommy, I would be so pissed.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for the kind words, man. We really appreciate it.
No, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Today's episode is brought to you by Brew Dr. Kombucha.
You can't do that.
I can't do that?
We don't have a sponsorship.
Oh, shit, really?
Today's episode is brought to you by Unbranded Coffee Cup.
And unbranded water in a kombucha bottle.
Okay.
It's not, I've drank the kombucha.
You already drank the kombucha.
Yeah, but it's a fun new bottle. That's like a chill thing.
I'm not pissed about it. You're like coming at me with this aggressive energy.
Yeah, because you made fun of how I shit earlier.
Okay, I don't want to.
We're not going to get into that.
It was really gross.
It was upsetting.
Yeah.
You're very upset.
I am.
You don't even want to know where that bidet has been anymore.
You've told me where it's been.
But you don't want to still know. You wish you could forget is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Today is a very special episode in the sense of like YouTube history. I think a lot of people that we've spoken about and a lot of people that we've talked to who have kind of been those early days of internet culture, I think a common theme of them has been, I was a comedian before this. I did some sort of form of uploading on the internet. I uploaded on Newgrounds, MySpace, or I had like a public access show.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people in like the sort of Bronze Age, the early days of the internet, had some sort of background.
In some kind of traditional media.
Some sort of traditional media. You know, like a lot didn't. You have like your Smoshes or your Nigahigas, who were like maybe two pals.
Yeah.
Doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But I think someone we're talking about is one of the early groundbreakers of YouTube, one of the biggest guys on the platform. But unlike looking back at the Nigahigas, the Smoshes, the Brookers, the goddamn Michael
Waste
Buckleys,
time chasing cars.
You have your blame societies. Unlike these early era people that you look back and like they were fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
This is someone who was almost universally hated, even looking back at it.
Yeah, people are like still going out of their way to shit on him all these years later. It's
including himself.
Yeah, it's true. That's like, in a way, it's like one of the ways he's remained relevant is by shitting on himself in the past, which is kind of a shame.
But still like a trailblazer.
100%.
And today we're going to be talking about Fred Figglehorn.
Okay.
Oh, who did you think we were talking about?
I thought we were gonna do it on 3, like 3, 2, 1, and then
Okay.
I would say Ray William Johnson, and you would say Fred, and then you would look at me and go, "No."
Do you want to do that?
Not really.
Okay, and we're gonna go 3, 2, 1.
Fred.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fred Figglehorn or Lucas Cruikshank, if you want to know his real goddamn name.
I remember like, I feel like that wasn't readily available for a while, and then like when people
No, not unless you did your research.
and then when people found out like his name, like I don't know, it wasn't like a big deal, but it was like kind
No,
of.
I thought it was cool.
It was cool.
I definitely thought it was cool back in the day.
I was like, so this guy's name is Lucas all along.
It was just Lucas.
His name wasn't even Fred.
Yeah, his voice,
It didn't actually sound like that.
it's normal.
Yeah. It was so crazy. He was just a normal kid from Nebraska.
Blew you away. Come on, let's be honest. Anyone who watched Fred back in the day, you went and pitched your voice up just to see what it was like.
Of course.
We all did it.
Yeah.
Who's Fred though? People are listening to this and they're new to the internet.
I
which
guess
is
that
weird
is
that
a-
they're listening to this podcast. But this hypothetical person is, who the fuck is Fred? Okay.
Yeah.
I know me some Smosh. They're still. I know Nigahiga. He's still making vids.
Yeah, I know Kev Jumba.
Yeah, maybe. Who's this Fred character?
Yeah.
So how would you explain Fred? I'm an idiot, and I'm also playing an idiot character.
Nice.
I don't know nothing about early internet.
Well, okay, so I guess like at its like base core, Fred Figglehorn is is a character portrayed by Lucas Crushank, or however you say his name, and he's a 6-year-old boy who lives with his drug-addicted, alcoholic, prostitute mother, whose father walked out on them and possibly is in jail. Or
Yeah,
is in the
no.
army
I
or
think
something.
it's insinuated he's on death row.
Yeah, something insane like that. He's obsessed with a girl named Judy. He's bullied by a boy named Kevin.
Yeah.
And all this is portrayed by essentially just Lucas by himself,
Vlog style,
pitching up his voice.
and being crazy and wild.
Yeah, so initially in like the beginning stages, like when he first started making Fred videos, and we'll get into that more later, the details of it, but
Yeah.
the Fred character was a lot more subdued, like a lot
It was
more.
more just sad.
It was sad. It was like
The first video, Fred on Halloween, was essentially like, hey, I'm Fred. I'm stuck at home in Halloween
My mom said she's gonna be out until 4 a.m.
getting wasted.
Yeah.
So I can't go trick-or-treating or do anything.
Yeah, but he has a witch's hat. He wanted to be a wizard, but his mom is like, "Oh, I had this witch's hat from last year. You can wear that,
Yeah.
but you can't go trick or treating."
And he's not as like wild and crazy as he is. No, it's
It's
a
really,
lot.
it's honestly kind of just like a straight faced parody, or like almost like a recreation of a literal child's vlog.
Yeah.
Like watching his vlog, like watching that made me think back to when I was making vlogs as a kid when I was like 11 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, pretty similar. The way he talks, the way he moves, like he's really trying to portray like an actual child.
Yeah, and I think at that point, because that video came out in Halloween of 2006.
Yeah.
And if you look at like the time of 2006, even if you really want to know a lot about the vlogging scene in 2006, check out our episode on Lonely Girl 15 with Yusuf Abu Taleb. And like that was kind of the height of the vlog, while also kind of getting in there with the comedy video. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
those were the two biggest things
Yeah.
on YouTube at the time. And I think a lot of people, and again, we'll get into it more later, a lot of people say, oh, like, this dumb kid is just in the camera and he got bit. Like, no, you can tell that, like, he researched that shit.
Yep. He's
Maybe not
portraying a character.
He is portraying a character of this, like, overindulgent kid,
Yeah.
while also putting that, like, ADHD comedy that was very big in the early days of YouTube. Like, it's, in its own way, it's very genius.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, what is working? And I'm going to do that. Almost to a fault, almost.
Yeah. And so as the videos go on, so I guess we could talk about this now. So
Yeah.
Fred initially, when he first started making videos, he was making them with his cousins.
Yeah, it was JKL Productions. So it was John, Katie, and Lucas.
Yeah.
And they started that June 2006.
Yeah.
So super early.
Yeah.
And it kind of had that energy, like you were saying, of like, they weren't doing vlogs, but like if you and your cousin, because what I loved about learning that story when I found out that Fred was Lucas was me and my cousins had jam studios.
Yeah.
It was Josh, Alex, Miranda.
Yeah.
And we were making like these home, like on like mini DV tapes that we just showed to like our family or just watch it back ourselves. And it totally has that energy.
Also, I think Jat Productions,
Oh yeah.
because Alex made the music for our show.
Okay, that's cool.
Jat,
It sounds terrible.
but it sticks in your brain.
I guess so. So
Continue your thought.
okay, you fucking. I was on a train heading due north,
You were really killing it, actually.
and you were like Superman jumping in front of the train,
So I'm a hero.
derailing the whole
So
thing.
I'm a hero.
No
then.
one was in front of it though. No one was gonna get hit by the train.
Okay.
You.
So
Plebeian.
you're saying Superman's a villain?
Yeah, he's a villain.
Oh, that's kind
He
of
has too much
badass.
power.
Yeah, it's kind of
And it's
sick.
awesome.
It's kind of awesome. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not mad anymore. But yeah, so it was like like me and my cousins would make these videos like on mini DV, like clearly mini DV because it's like there's no editing in software.
Yeah.
It's all done in the camera and then you upload it. So I think it kind of had that energy of like what sort of going into the era where the tape digital camera was like consumerly available.
Yeah.
To the point where it wasn't just like, oh, your parents have it to document stuff. It's like, okay, the kids are playing around with it and making home movies. It was like, I think when we were kids, that was like just near the end of that era.
Yeah, I think like the first camera I got was mini DV, but
Yeah.
the second camera that, well, I didn't get it, but so when Angus got his second camera, it was like a digital, took an SD card
Yeah.
camcorder.
Yeah.
Or it had like an internal memory, but it wasn't on tape.
Yeah, and I think the reason I say specifically mini DV is if you look at like a lot of like, so like early tape cameras were one of a couple things for the average consumer. It was VHS-C, just straight up VHS, which is like magnetic tape, and you just have your RCA component out, and then you have high 8, video 8, digital 8, which is all just different formats of 8mm tape.
Yeah.
But all of those, like even when it got into the point of digital, it was still like digital interlaced, and you were going out to composite. You know, like it wasn't meant to go into a computer. Whereas mini DV, a lot of theirs had a FireWire out. So because of that, and then with more consumable computer softwares like iMovie,
Yeah.
anyone could start putting that stuff onto a computer and then uploading it to the internet. So because of that, it totally encapsulates the feel of that time. And if you go back and watch it, it totally feels like that. But you can also see like Lucas is definitely like, he's doing the most. He's trying the most. He's committing.
Yeah.
And I think something we notice is like there's so many Fred parodies out there, and we'll probably get a little bit more in that. But like no one committed as hard as he did.
And that's the thing, right? Like people shit on Fred so fucking much.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, honestly, not that bad. Like,
no, that's the thing is like going back and watching it is like there is a charm to it.
Yeah.
And if you were to ask me, like, did you think this would be the top of YouTube? No.
No.
But I can totally see how it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually in April of 2008 that after doing this, like doing a bunch of characters on the JKL channel, but seeing that the Fred ones did the best,
Yeah,
Lucas actually...
So yeah, just to clarify for sure, people,
Yeah.
Fred initially was created by Lucas on the JKL channel.
Yeah, on him and his cousins.
in 2006.
October 2006. So they did a couple, they were doing like sketches, you know, as much as like some kids doing sketches would get on early YouTube. You know, basic stuff. But the Fred ones were doing really well. So it's still kind of like, no one knows really how he got like the Fred channel, mostly because he's a child. And like, did he buy it from the original guy that got Fred in 2005?
Yeah.
It's implied, like, there's a joke in his videos, too, which is hilarious, actually, going back, is the guy who originally had the Fred channel is trying to kill him.
Yeah, because he like stole it somehow.
Yeah. But it's like he's never talked about how he really actually got the Fred channel.
Lucas, come on the
come on the
show.
pod, we'll chat about it.
Yeah,
Okay?
you can tell us all about how you stole this guy's identity.
But yeah, he started like putting clips of Fred, like the old clips of there, and in about May of 2008, after sort of starting to set up teasers of the channel. And the funny thing is, like, what we noticed is there's like a 1.5 year gap, because before he's like shorter hair and braces and
Yeah.
visibly tinier. And then when he came back, he like here's the thing, like, it's one of those things where you can shit on him all you want, but he was smart. Like his branding was early. The second he started doing Fred videos on the Fred channel, he had a Fred t-shirt.
Yeah.
That the Fred with the backwards R and the drawing of like him with the braces and everything.
Yeah.
But he was like considerably older. Because when you're that age, every year you notice a little bit more. Because puberty.
Yeah, every year you gain a little something.
You gain a little something. And he gained it up here. But the crazy thing is in May of 2008 to, I believe, let me check my fucking notes here. No, but of May of 2008 to then you're getting into October of 2008. From that point, he went from just starting his channel to being the biggest channel on YouTube.
Yeah, he
The
blew
first-
up like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, yeah. And it was like here's the like if you look at like anyone else who was there, like whether it be Brookers who kind of did it with the vlog, and you look at it like Niga Higa or Smosh, you know, there's like team of people making comedy sketches from pretty much like the second they got onto YouTube in like 2006.
Yeah.
That in itself almost makes sense, because it's like, okay, like how to be ninja, like they had a bunch of viral videos.
Yeah.
And then it's like in almost no time he surpasses all of them. So he was the first YouTuber to hit 600,000 subscribers when he passed Niga Higa. And he was also another really big milestone. Later in the beginning of 2009, I believe, he was the first YouTuber to hit 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, which is crazy. I remember that happening. I was pissed because
Yeah.
I wanted Smosh to get that.
Yeah, no, me too. I was like, it was either going to be Smosh or Niga Higa.
Yeah, because it felt like they traded.
They did. They traded for a while, but I think it's funny. Like we were rewatching videos like in the Fred parodies, because I remember like everyone started liking Fred. That's the thing, is like he wouldn't have gotten here if people didn't like him.
Yeah.
Everyone started liking Fred, and then when it kind of got repetitive, because like it's the same character, the same thing every time.
Yeah, well, I feel like it was a two-pronged thing. It was like, one, every video is kind of the same, and two, he got popular.
Yeah, he got super
That
popular.
was the
and
thing,
then
is
it's
he
like,
got popular, and everyone's like,
but it's
I'm
not-
too cool for this guy
we'll get into
now.
it more right after this. But I think it's like, it's not in the way that like Smosh or Niga Higa got popular. It's like he got big, he got 1 million on the internet, which was a milestone for the internet at the time. Like I think we can sit here and say like 1 million subscribers. That's not happened on any platform
Yeah.
until that point. The fact that like digitally 1 million people are following this human being. And he kept that title until the first person to hit 1.3 million, and then was passed again by Niga Higa, but was also the third person to hit 2 million. So like he stuck around for a little bit. But he also, once that happened, it wasn't like, oh, okay, how can I like upgrade my camera gear and do? It's like, oh, in 2009, I'm gonna get a fucking Nickelodeon deal.
Yeah.
So when he was just kind of getting like popular and becoming the most subscribed person on the YouTube platform, he actually went on another very important to internet culture show. Maybe we'll talk about it one day if Thomas lets me. But iCarly. So iCarly was a Nickelodeon show that started in 2007.
Yeah.
Pretty much, the concept came out and it started going in production at the perfect time, because they started like going into production right when YouTube started being a thing in 2006. And in 2007 it premiered, and the show is around these 3 Seattle teenagers who make a web show. And because it was written early, it was like the semblance of like understanding the technology or the fan base didn't really make, like they were doing an HD live stream.
Yeah. And it's like they're all like 14 or something.
They're all 14 and it's like perfectly produced.
Yeah.
With multicam.
Yeah. And it's like they have like a whole broadcast station and shit. And it's like, where do they get the cash for this?
Her older brother is like, I guess like a weird
He's
like
like
an
an artist. Yeah.
doing like, he's a sculpture artist, but like with garbage and shit.
Yeah.
So I guess he's really successful, because this is his 3-story Seattle downtown loft. I don't know how much you know about real estate. That's at least 5 G's a month,
Oh.
if not 10.
Yeah.
At the time, maybe like 7, but that's still a lot of money
Yeah.
for an artist in Seattle.
Yeah.
But
He
I guess
makes
he's
sculptures out of garbage.
yeah, he's clearly very successful.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
but
they don't have parents. I don't want to get into the show.
we'll get into it when the time comes. Anyway, it's
When we
essentially
get Miranda Cosgrove on
when
the show.
Cosgrove comes in the pod, let's talk School of Rock. That's all I want to talk about, Miranda.
Rest in peace.
The drum kid.
Yeah, I don't know his name.
I don't know. I don't want this to be disrespectful, because I genuinely like that movie. It was very important to me.
Same, and I always thought he was really cool.
Yeah, he was the coolest guy there. But yeah, he actually unfortunately was hit by
His
it.
name isn't Zachary, is it? Because I think his name
Zach
is
Mooneyham was the guitar player character.
Okay.
Anyway, rest in peace. It's very unfortunate that happened. Okay, let's go back into the persona. Stole it from Bo Burnett. Okay,
Come on the pod, Bo.
Bo, please.
I'm excited for his new special.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, so essentially iCarly was that. It was 3 teenagers who got viral off of like a video of them making fun of their teacher, and that springboarded into like they become, over the course of the show, the most popular web series in the world.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, in the second season, when people started actually coming up and like getting notoriety, end of 2008, I believe it aired in 2008, so they must have got him a little bit earlier. But they said, okay, who's the biggest, goofiest guy on the platform? I'm not sure if they reached out to anyone else who just would have said no. Because here's the thing, too. At the time it was coming out, like Niga Higa and Smosh were probably edging towards 20.
Oh, they would already be 20.
Yeah, they would have like just turned 20.
Yeah.
So I think it was like, even if they thought of that, it's like, okay, them or Brookers, like these are all.
Well, Brookers, I think, was like already well.
Yeah, but these people are adults, is my point.
Yeah, I think another. Well, okay. There's another thing too. Of, I think, well, Nikihiga, they were already producing some other movie.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm pretty certain they were already producing their movie before the Fred movie ever came into existence.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking the iCarly episode.
I know.
You know, but I know
I'm
what
just
you're
saying that, but they were doing their own different thing.
Yes.
Smosh, to cite Liam,
Yeah.
had
Yeah,
assuredly
they had
been
no plan to do anything.
Yeah, they had assuredly been reached out to do other stuff.
Absolutely, but they wanted to stay on YouTube.
Yeah,
They were very future-proofing their enterprise.
totally. And also, I think, I mean, it might be weird to say this now, considering the content Smosh creates.
Yeah.
The channel, but they were, I think, less kid-friendly.
Oh,
than
for sure.
Fred.
But at the same time, Fred was about a kid that lives with an alcoholic prostitute mother.
I know. It's pretty
And
funny.
clearly
to
has
think.
mental issues.
I know, but on paper, like at face value,
No, on paper,
Smosh-
even though he's like, I lost my meds and stuff, and he's talking about like stalking,
yeah,
it was kid friendly enough, and Lucas was also 15.
Yeah.
At the time, so it made
He does
sense.
look a lot older than the other kids in the
Oh, for sure.
iCarly episode.
Well, they were like 13, 14. And
Ye-
again, like we said, you age fast.
Yeah, I think also they have this bit where at the end it's like him and Miranda Krosgov, and
They're making it like
no,
essentially-
they're
they're
becoming-
making it because in the episode it's like
They're
one of the
becoming friends
characters
again.
doesn't like Fred,
Yeah,
and he says that, and then everyone hates him, and Fred's like, "I'm quitting the internet," and then he was just doing it the whole time to like drive traffic to both their sites,
it was manufactured internet beef.
which they kind of guessed. They predicted manufactured internet beef. There's a lot in this episode that is pretty. The only inaccurate thing, and I think Quentin Reviews said this in his video, is the fact that he had storyboards that Lucas had.
That's a joke. That's definitely
No,
a
of course
joke.
it is, of course
It's pretty funny. I actually thought that was funny.
No, it was funny, but like, yeah, he's like, oh, should we kiss now that we're good?
Yeah, because it's like, oh, we're friends again. And it's like, yeah, I guess we are.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. Should we like make out about it? And then she's like, no. And it's like, yeah, that was weird because,
Yeah, but that's also Dan Schneider.
yeah.
There was a lot of weird fetish shit in that episode alone.
I mean, I guess it's also kind of like a play on the trope of it's like, oh, like
Yeah, we're cool.
this is
now.
where the kiss would happen, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, it happens a lot, that joke, but it's
Yeah.
Lucas just felt too old,
Yeah.
and
He also in a video talking about it, he said he felt like super awkward. It's like it seemed like a weird line.
it was very weird. Yo, it was weird. He definitely, the whole interaction felt awkward.
Yeah, like clearly like he's an internet comedian.
Yeah.
But no, it was essentially after that happened, like that episode was very well received. They got a lot of traffic on that episode because it was like, holy shit, on this show I like about the internet, there's the biggest guy on the internet. And because that blew up so well, Nickelodeon actually made a deal with Lucas to, I think the original deal was for, three Fred movies. And he did none of them were well received by the internet. Like at this
No.
point, we're getting to the point where it was June 1st, 2009. This was like before the Fred movie came out, but June 1st, 2009 for a while was known as International Unsubscribe to Fred Day.
Yeah.
I remember that. I did it.
I can't remember if I had already unsubscribed or not by that point, but if I hadn't unsubscribed by that point, I would have on
Yeah.
that day.
Well, that's the thing is like looking back at it, it's kind of one of those things where like you look back at when we were like 13, 14, and like we're like, oh, fuck Justin Bieber because girls liked him. But then you're like looking at,
To be fair, I hated the song Baby
oh, he sucks too.
so much. when I first heard it, I was like, I hate this.
For sure. But did he deserve as much hate as he got?
Oh,
No,
definitely
no.
not. Definitely not.
But I always thought it was like funny when like adults also hated Justin Bieber.
Oh yeah, it was
Like-
like chill out.
He's a 15-year-old kid.
Yeah, living his dream.
Yeah.
Sorry you work at Kinko's.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the same with like Fred, where like if you look at all those videos, like Shane Dawson making Fred videos and stuff, you're like you're 20, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit more understandable with Shane
When you're
because
a
he's at least engaged in the platform.
Yeah.
I'm
But there were
sure
a lot
he
of
had-
like videos of like just people in their 20s being like, "Fuck Fred, unsubscribe to Fred." You know?
Yeah, which was so weird. Well, even like we were saying, like we were like watching other people's videos of like history of Fred because we like to do that, and
Yeah.
generally also just to see how inaccurate they are because there's always shit
That's
that's
the
wrong.
if I can be confident about anything, it's we do our research here at
Yeah.
When We Were There Studios.
We do our as much as we care to.
Enough to be like, I don't know, it's like we were watching one video and a guy's like, "Oh, yeah, like I haven't seen any of the Fred movies or TV shows, but they're pretty." Well, first he just says they're bad,
Yeah, and
and,
then he goes, "I haven't seen them, of course."
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
well, then don't give your 2 cents.
yeah,
I'm not gonna watch the Fred movies of the TV show.
Yeah,
I'll I read synopses on them,
yeah, and I've
and I
seen
watch videos
fucking,
about them.
Yeah, I've seen.
but I'm not gonna.
I
say
hate everything.
Yeah,
and
we've all seen it.
Was it Ralph the Movie Maker?
Ralph the
Did one?
Movie Maker and I Hate Everything both have really good videos in the Fred movies.
Yeah,
So it's like,
so I
why-
know what happens in them.
Yeah, but at the same time, I'm not going to speak of the quality. I can only say how they're received.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also like these, like this one video, like clearly done by an older guy, is
Yeah.
like, but don't get me wrong, I fucking hate Fred. Like in the
Yeah.
video, he mentions how many times he hates Fred.
It's
and,
like within the first like 2 minutes, he says it like 6 times.
yeah. Honestly, like you were kind of saying earlier, every time like an adult does that, it's like what I'm hearing is like, this 15-year-old kid became the biggest person on the platform and living his dream, and I work at Kinko's, so fuck him.
Yeah,
You know?
no, literally. Or it's like, yeah, but I'm pretty cool. Like, I don't like this lame shit. It's like, dude, you don't need to. It's like trying to justify, like, I get that I'm making this video about Fred, but don't worry, I think he's stupid.
And that's it. You'd think as an adult you'd be self-aware enough to be like, really, like even watching like some other videos about this. I feel like I'm shouting out Quentin reviews way too much for someone who didn't want to come on. He was busy. I'm not gonna shit on him. I really like him.
Yeah.
But
He didn't even say he didn't want to. He just said,
he said it was
just-
a really cool concept,
he
but
just said,
you
not
can't-
right now.
Yeah,
Call me later.
call me. Yeah, I'm shitting on
He
one
said-
of my
he said,
favorite creators.
Call me maybe.
Yeah, I just
something.
met you.
And this is crazy. Oh, the great.
Yeah,
Okay. We really like Jake and Amir here on the show.
we really love Jake and Amir
Come
on the
on
show.
the pod. I
Come
know-
on the pod,
I know
Hurwitz.
your agent said no,
Blumenfeld?
but surely you would say yes.
We're calling out everyone in this. We're only calling out people that we respect.
yeah.
But no, in his video, he was like, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, I don't like to admit that I like iCarly because it's a girl's show because the main character is a girl.
Yeah, so that makes it a girl show.
Which I guess I would have felt in high school because I was a high school boy. But now I'm like, yeah, this show fucking slapped back in the day. I kind of even held up watching that Fred episode for
Yeah,
what it was.
it wasn't terrible.
No.
I also liked Zoe 101.
Yeah, Zoe 101. All those Schneider shows, you watch them now and you're like, oh, clearly this dude is putting his fetishes into the show, though.
Yeah.
It's very upsetting.
Shout out to Life with Derek. It's
Yeah.
not a Schneider show or anything.
I think it's fun. This is such
it's
an
just
aside
a good,
now.
good show though. I like
Life
it.
Derek's a Canadian TV, like a Canadian teenage goofy Brady Bunch kind of.
Yeah.
And there was like, I guess, weird sexual tension between the two oldest siblings who were like
The
step
two
siblings.
Yeah, they're step siblings. They're the two leads because it's the show is about Casey
yeah,
and her stepbrother Derek
yeah.
and how
She
she has
hates
to
him.
live with him. She
But there's
hates him,
tension.
but she loves him. And then there's
Yeah, but both the lead actors on the show have been like, oh, trailblazers for like step sibling porn. And like, if you'd want us to do a podcast that's just reading fanfic of like Derek and Casey stories, we'll do it. And yes, do it.
and then come on the pod about
And
it.
come on the pod about it. Absolutely. We got to get them on the pod.
Yeah.
They started step sibling porn.
Maybe that actually could be a fun episode.
Okay, we'll figure that out.
We'll give them a
We'll
shout.
give them a shout.
But- No, but I don't know if this is like for sure true.
Yeah.
Because I mean the show is already kind of like, okay, like they're finishing high school, like we're getting to the end of the story now.
Yeah.
The actors are getting too old to
Yeah.
play this age. But I definitely have heard that the sexual tension between the two of them was so high. And the fan base was like really for it.
yeah.
that the studio execs were like,
No.
we gotta cut the cord.
But
on
they're
this
gonna
one.
hook up, right? Everyone is just way
Yeah.
too into it.
Yeah, everyone wrote their own like personal ending of the show where it's like, and then they totally banged.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Life with Derek, more like life with dare ass, as in they're eating each other's assholes for breakfast, lunch, and dessert. Not dinner though. Dinner, they're having a nice chicken Kiev.
Yeah, a little bit of glass of rosé or something.
Yeah, a little bit of glass of rosé. They're taking a break. They need to refuel from all the ass eating.
Yeah, it's also like you eat your favorite thing all the time. Like,
Yeah.
It's just not. You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to take a break
Yeah,
to
exactly.
know what you were missing.
Exactly right.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Fred and Nickelodeon.
That's not as weird of a tangent as we've had.
We
I think.
normally do way worse.
I think that was still pretty related
Yeah. To the internet.
to
Sort of.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Dan Schneider.
To Schneider, my guy. Yeah, a lot of weird stuff with Schneider. That could be its own episode. Anyway.
Could it? That's not internet.
No. Anyway, the point being, my guy,
Yes.
is so they signed this 3-picture deal with up until this point. So like there have been, you know, like Michael Buckley, like he got an HBO deal to do a little segment there.
Did that? I don't even. When he brought that up, I didn't.
I
even know
don't. I
about
believe
that.
it came to fruition. But what I mean is like there people coming from traditional media, like, or some form of it, trying to get in traditional media. Like I think like there are YouTubers who have been actors as well, who have been like in Law and Order, or like in a short film.
Or in that one American Pie movie.
Which one?
I can't remember that.
But they played a character, correct?
Yeah, they're a character in the movie.
What I mean though is like Fred was the first person to take what he was doing on YouTube
Yeah.
and going like mainstream with it. Like the first example really being the iCarly thing. Like he was playing Fred. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
oh, he's popular, we'll get him to play like this other like this, because they have Splash Face, their YouTube and iCarly, but like he's some Splash Face celebrity. No, he was playing Fred.
Yeah.
He was playing Lucas, who is Fred.
Yeah, they even say like the mind behind Fred Lucas. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like that spanned to a picture where the character that he was doing was then adapted into 3 movies. They were not received well, but he also got a show deal to do Fred the TV show, which only lasted a season, but still. And then he did something called Marvin, where he's like a teenage alien who I guess goes to school.
I feel like it's like based off a book or something.
Yeah.
Or it's just maybe a kind of a tired idea.
I think it's just a tired idea, like a Mork and Mindy-esque
Yeah.
thing. But if you don't have the charm of Robin Williams, it doesn't really work.
Sorry, Lucas.
Nanu nanu. He said that, I think.
Lucas?
No, Robin Williams.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, Genie.
He also was like really hairy.
Yeah. Oh, look at those hair. I'm into it. Oh, I can't do a Robin Williams. The point being,
Only Robin Williams.
watch
can
it,
do
Chief.
Okay, that was cool.
That was okay.
That was cool.
And you felt like,
I felt the power there.
yeah, you felt the power that I was in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and after that, like, so there's a weird string of events that happened in the Fred lore. So I guess some people break Fred down like into seasons. I think he did that as well, as like of what era it is. Like
Yeah.
everything in JK is like season 0. It's like pre-Fred.
Yeah.
So in like the quote unquote, like I guess season 4 of the Fred lore. Yeah, I rhyme.
Okay, that was dope.
Yeah. So in season 4, the Fred lore, Fred was a bit of a bore. No, that's all I got.
And watching him was a chore.
Watching him was a chore.
But stay tuned. There's more.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess there was like this weird tangent where like all of a sudden there was new Fred. And it was like this Korean boy dressed as Fred.
What?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay,
about this.
so get ready for a fucking whirlwind.
All right.
Okay. So there's like this new Fred, and it's like both animated and live action, like a Korean boy dressed as Fred. And it's like, hey, I'm the new Fred. I'm going to be Fred on the channel. And it later in that season, it is revealed that the real Fred has been kidnapped by this Korean like television company that is using new Fred to like sponsor a product.
Okay.
So then I guess there's this like I'm probably butchering this. There's this other character who then has to like free Fred
Okay.
from the clutches of like the evil Korean company and new Fred.
Do you know what the product is?
It's a fake product.
Is it like Bakari Sweat?
Something like that.
Okay.
And after that, that was like the last thing that he did after the Fred shows in the movies. And then he was like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah.
What's going on right now? And I think it's like, here's the thing. I think if you look at Fred and other people around his time that were like in the same camp of popularity, Fred did what worked. Like Lucas did what worked. Vlogging and comedy works. So he created this character.
Yeah.
But he never really, I guess he did like side character voicing in Fred and like played other characters in the Fred world because he needed to sometimes. But never did he really like branch out and do the closest thing. He was like the Marvin show was the only other, like, he's like, this is the first time I haven't been playing Fred. That was like 2013. And because he never did anything else, like you said, it's pretty much the same video every time. And that is one of the things, aside from just like being successful, that I think had like stuff like Unsubscribed Fred Day. And it's like, you're a traitor, you're a sellout.
Yeah.
That having most of the community that birthed him hate him, and then also kind of be in a point where it's like, oh my God, I've been doing this character from 2006 to 2014.
Yeah, Jesus.
8 years of my life. And the only really doing one character.
Yeah.
He's just like, I hate doing this. My audience doesn't even really like me. I can't do this anymore. He hated it so much that it's not like, let's reinvent. He just literally gave the channel away to like fan submitted content. And no one liked it. And after a year of that in 2015, it was just done.
It's kind of like a sad, like petering out.
Yeah.
Like, you know, not to say like Lucas is
No.
particularly at fault, but it's kind of like a almost, I want to use the word pathetic for the death of, not like
For the death of a big like
yeah, it's like such like a sad,
like a landmark trailblazing channel.
yeah, you know, like, and it's nothing against Lucas or anything. Like, honestly, I think most people in his position, it probably would have gone down pretty much the same way.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Is
wasn't-
like
there
it could have gone out with a bang. Like this whole like Korean Fred thing. Could
Yeah,
have, like,
and then like giving the channel away to just sort of whimper out and die. Like, it's just a
Yeah.
shame. Like,
well, it was random. It was like it was kids interviewing people, and then it was like kids being like, "Where do babies?" Like that's the last video they did. I think it was like, "Where do babies come
yeah, and like Logan, or was it Logan?
Jake
or
Paul
was
did
on
like a
it.
couple of videos where he was just like, "Hey, like we'll play a game where like you and your mom answer questions, and whoever is wrong gets pied in the face."
Yeah.
Just you ever see that Sopranos episode where like Junior Soprano doesn't want people knowing that he eats pussy, and then like his guma, his girlfriend's like, "Oh, Junior eats the best pussy in town," because back then for some reason pleasing a woman was seen as feminine.
It's like, oh, you eat pussy,
You make your
You're
girl
s-
come.
what are you, gay? It's like,
I took it in the ass because I'm a straight man.
yeah.
But yeah.
I've never seen that episode, Josh. You fucking spoiled it for me.
Okay, well I'm this far anyway. I'm sorry, but he gets mad at her, and
You're gonna
he's-
keep going?
You think he's gonna hit her, and there's this cream pie she made for him, and he pies her in the face. Because sometimes Sopranos is hilarious.
I guess I'm not gonna laugh when I watch it.
No, you like pie because like pie let me get some of that pie like is known as like vagina. Like it's kind of a euphemism for vagina.
Where?
Look it up, bitch.
Where though? Like what state?
I don't know, just like in the internet.
Baltimore?
Maybe.
You spoiled the episode for me.
Anyway, he pies her in the face because he doesn't like people knowing he eats pussy, and he's like, "We're done, Olivia." He says something like that.
Which character it is? Because I've been watching Entourage, and that's, I think, like established.
Yeah.
I think people should know that
Yeah.
I've been watching Entourage.
She's the daughter of Tony Soprano.
Okay, what's her name?
Meadow Soprano in the show. But Jamie Lynn Siegler.
Right.
Yeah.
And so like,
I don't need to know these things. These things don't need to be in my head.
Yeah, but I'm glad you do, because then I can ask you about it.
Yeah, you can ask me shit. I can be like, "Oh, that's this actor." But
yeah, so then like Johnny Drama is like, because that studio exec is like, I totally like tongued her ass cheeks, and then
Yeah.
Johnny is like, you don't talk about like
yeah.
my
Oh, don't
Yeah.
talk about my boy's girl.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he's more pissed, and he's like, you're fucking dead.
Dead Coakley. You fucking dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I remember the exec's name. I don't know why. Dan Coakley. Why do I know that? He's like in an episode.
He's in a few.
Anyway,
He picks him up by his neck and
yeah, he
throws
fucking-
him against the wall. It's badass.
it's hot.
Yeah.
It's very hot.
Yeah. And he's like protecting the honor of his friend's girlfriend.
Yeah, Johnny Drama is actually an okay dude for a piece of shit.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So anyway, Yeah, Jake Paul pies people in the face. That's the game. But yeah,
Well,
kind
but when Jake Paul does it, it's not chill.
it's not chill. It's not hot.
No.
But like, yeah, it was just kind of like, who wants to use this channel? Who wants to do something with this?
Yeah.
So yeah, just really, they could have like gone out with a bang. They really could have made it something that was like, okay, this is the end of Fred, and then I'm done with it. But yeah, it is a little pathetic. And honestly, yeah, it's not at the fault of Lucas. You become famous when you're 15 on a platform that has never really been able to, like, never known to do this before.
Yeah, like, to his credit, he was the first one taking that step into that
absolutely.
world from the internet.
And I'm sure he got screwed over by Nickelodeon.
Probably. I
Like,
wonder, like,
You're young, you're not from the industry.
yeah.
You know, you're doing all your own like merch and branding, and then all of a sudden, like, one of the biggest children's network comes forward and it's like, hey, we're the TV show your audience watches when they're not watching you. How would
Yeah.
you want to make money and be fucking Nickelodeon famous? Again, it's one of those, like, similar with MCNs. It's like,
Yeah.
and he just had to walk away from Nickelodeon. And I think the thing, and it does show on YouTube, like, for the most part, YouTube isn't really like traditional media in the sense that it's not like, oh, you haven't been doing anything, but then you're in a Tarantino movie and then, like, top of the charts again.
Yeah.
Like, if you take the break that he kind of did from YouTube, because like 2012, 2014, he did nothing on YouTube. And then 2014, he did like that other Fred storyline thing that he wasn't really in. And then it was just over. Like, from most of 2014, 2015, aside from like the occasional Lucas vlog, which wasn't really followed that, like, he stopped doing like comedic character work. And even most of his videos that he has now are reacting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
And then
his old stuff.
yeah, reacting to his old stuff or his old shows. And that's where he's getting views right now. And again, it's like nothing against him. Like, you got to hustle where you're going to hustle. But like,
Well, it's kind of like what Buck was saying, where it's like,
you either die a villain
yeah, exactly.
or you
You
live,
either die a villain or live long enough to see yourself become a hero.
you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself doing reaction videos to your old popular content.
Yeah, but well, yeah, what I was meant to is, it's like, you know, once the interest kind of dies down on you, and you either have to, like, while the iron is hot, reinvent yourself like Smosh did.
Yeah. Or even like, yeah, like,
Or Sexy
he's canceled
Phil,
now, or
or
Shane did
yeah,
that
yeah.
very well.
Yeah. Or it's like, you know, you take that break, and it's the same story. Like, Brookers has the same story, What the Buck as well, and Lucas, it's like you
You're out of
take
the
that break,
zeitgeist,
and
you're
then
not-
but then you try to break back in, and it's like, it's kind of demoralizing, I'm sure, to be like, wow, I used to get millions of views and I don't get that anymore.
Yeah, well,
even
it's-
like as I ribbed him a little bit, but Vinny has that video on his personal channel.
Yeah.
Vinny of F&D Films.
Shout
where-
F&D, they're awesome.
they're great dudes. Where he's like, this channel used to get so many views, and if I had like stuck with it or whatever, like, I don't know, like, we could have had so many views, but I let it die, and now like he still gets good views.
They're doing right now what we want to be doing.
It's true.
To be fair.
They're chilling.
Yeah, dailies and making commercials.
They're freaking chilling.
They're great.
They're also produced a feature film.
Yeah, no, they're
40-minute.
Like I said, they are where we want to be.
Yeah,
We're not. No shade is being thrown.
just send them cash to make Grundy.
Yeah,
because they don't want to ask for the cash to make Grundy.
so we are going to
We're gonna make
on
Grundy.
their behalf make it happen.
We're gonna make Grundy.
No,
We're gonna make the cash.
we're gonna make the cash for them. We're gonna skim it off the top, of course.
Of course, like, what a cool, like, 60%
Yeah, 60%. But that 40% is definitely going towards making the Grundy movie.
at least.
Maybe
At
30.
most, sorry, yeah. I meant to say
most,
at most.
most, yeah,
40.
We'll see how we feel, because like we're getting the money.
Yeah, like it's
It's
coming
for
into
their
our
thing,
wallets.
but yeah, it's like coming through our account.
Yeah.
Those
so
account transactions are going to cost at least a couple dollars.
we need a nice water cooler.
Yeah, we need to get a water cooler for our new office.
Yeah.
Yeah, this set ain't here forever. We're
Yeah, exactly.
moving on up in the world.
I want to have like Diet Dr. Pepper on deck at all times.
Yeah, maybe I'd like a diet cherry vanilla Coke.
Yeah, just one.
Just the one. And we take a little sip of it every day.
Yeah.
But no, I think it is one of those things too, like Buck said, was it can sound as like egotistical as you want, but when you're like one of the top 10 guys on the platform, it's hard to come back and not be one of the best,
Totally. And
especially when you're used to that.
yeah.
And it's because, again, you can say ego or not, but it just kind of looks sad. It's like, oh, it's like the old wrestler who's like come back and he's like
Yeah.
out of shape and he's got that weird like HGH like veiny gut and
Yeah.
he looks like shit and you know he's gonna lose. And it's
Yeah.
almost just like you come back for like almost no money to get your ass kicked.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and I mean, like, I think you can, like, I'm not saying that's what Lucas is doing either.
Yeah.
But it can definitely feel that way, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it all depends on how you approach it. Like, if you're like, listen, I'm just doing this because
I'm really ruining any chance of him coming on, but he hasn't done anything like in that field aside from like his vlogs or reactions.
Wrestling, you mean?
Yeah, he hasn't done any wrestling or acting
Yeah.
or writing outside of like past Marvin.
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Possibly. I just think it's one of those things where like you kind of get typecast in a bad way.
I mean, like, it's still to this day, people hate him for no reason.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
It's also like a weird aside, but like he and I know this is probably tough. Like he came onto YouTube and got so much flack for like, oh, like, you know, the homophobic shit of early YouTube. And then in 2013 he came out and it's like he's like, I guess I never really felt like I needed to make a video. Like I was already out to my family for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it's like one of those things where it's like, imagine being someone that like is discovering who you are and your sort of sexuality and who you want to become. And every day you're getting hate and like saying the F word and everything at you. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot, like there's that stigma too with being a big YouTube creator, which is like, I'm just going to get shit on and made to feel bad about who I am. Why would I want to come back to that? Like, even when he was success, like you can look at someone like even Michael said, like, but those comments you forget about because he was doing like great content that like was getting beloved.
Yeah.
Like you might be getting hate. Like you're always going to be getting some sort of homophobic, misogynistic, racist shit when you're an early YouTube creator.
Of course.
But Michael was universally pretty loved.
Yeah. And he did make a point too where he's like, you can't take the hate to your
but like
heart,
he said
can't
too,
take
he was
the praise to your
30.
head.
He's
Yeah,
like,
but that's the thing.
imagine being a young gay kid.
Well, yeah, he's like describing exactly Lucas's situation.
And it's one of those things where like Fred was pretty much like, though popular, universally hated.
Yeah.
For a while. Like there was an unsubscribe to him day.
Yeah, that can't feel good.
No, that's got to feel awful. So it's like it must be weird as like success also comes with like so much negativity.
Yeah. Crabs in a bucket. Am I right?
Yeah, that chaos
Shut up,
song.
Vince Staples. Huh?
Crab in a bucket, kind of get them, but you're moving up.
It's like sometimes you say shit.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. It was so sick.
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know that song and it sounds pretty slapping.
I'll play it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll trade. Because I think
One day I'll tell the 2 times I met Chaos. I'll Dave Chappelle talking about the 3 times he met Bill Cosby, but a lot less interesting and a lot less juicy.
It was OJ.
OJ, yeah, sorry.
Today I discovered there's I think it was initially a play and then it was made into a movie, but it's a story called The Story of O, and it's a movie or whatever. It's a story about this beautiful woman called O is brought into like an island retreat or whatever, taken to an island retreat by her boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
Who then teaches her about bondage and sexual perversion.
Yeah.
And so it's a story about dominance and submission, right? And how she's sort of like dominated by this guy.
Yeah.
So you might be wondering, how does that relate to Jay-Z?
50 Shades of Grey.
Story of OJ is a really good song by Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
About race relations and how the dominance of white people over black people in a racial America, and how no matter how successful you are, you're still judged by the color of your skin.
Yeah.
How O.J. Simpson once said, "I'm not black, I'm O.J."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, but like you're still black in the eyes of the public, and you're still black in the eyes of the ruling class.
Yeah.
So it's about dominance and submission. So it's kind of cool. Like, I didn't know that. That's another layer to the song.
Okay, that's cool.
Pretty cool. So
I actor friend of mine the other day
Yeah.
said, you really should lean into the Latino thing instead of the Jewish thing for two reasons. Number one, there's a lot of anti-Semitism happening right now.
Yeah.
Like in Montreal, there like have been targeted attacks against Jewish people. It is getting pretty scary.
In New York too.
Number two, though, is he's like, I have a friend, she's Latino and she looks way whiter than you. And but she can speak Spanish and she gets like Mexican roles because she can speak Spanish.
Pero no hablas español.
I don't.
Entonces, ¿por qué?
But he's like, just get a bit more of a tan and like audition for like Hispanic roles and you can get a grant for being a minority. I'm like, I look very white.
Yeah. You do look pretty white, but like,
Something people always think like, what's up?
yeah, there's a little bit of ethnicity in
Yeah, but I also just felt like
Pero
I feel like
necesitas hablar español.
oh no, mosito. But like I'm sorry, like as much as I think people should people who have not gotten opportunities should get opportunities, but I also think they should be good artists. That being said, I think if it comes down to like me playing up the Spanish thing just to get, because I also said I don't act. I'm a producer. I don't act. He's like, oh, you don't need to know how to act. I'm just like, that's playing the system too much. He's like, oh, play the system. I'm like, no, no, those are opportunities that should go
To
to
actual
people that
Latino
have had
people who are
Latino
actually good
people
at acting.
who are good at acting and know the Latino experience more than me. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm very proud of my Latino heritage.
Yeah.
But I've never really gotten shit on
No.
for being Latino, and I'm not suave enough to like lean into it.
Yeah, but you have been shit on for being a Jew.
Yeah,
So that's why you feel like you can use that.
yeah,
You've earned it.
yeah. I've earned it enough to like
But you don't speak Yiddish, so
no.
actually
Well, I do a little bit.
okay.
Like not like fluent, but I
Well, you
use
know the
Yiddish
word,
phrases.
Like Meshuggah.
Not usually Meshuggah, but like schwitzing or kvetching or schlabbing. You know, like really complaining words. Yeah.
Which is of course the Jewish way.
Yeah. So Fred was not a fucking Aryan. Maybe he'd still be doing shit today.
And there we go.
That's the
That's
moral.
the moral. Every episode we have a moral, and we found the moral this one.
Yeah, no, I think today's moral is just like when you're thrust into something with like one thing
Yeah.
that you're known for and you don't branch out, especially when it's a new medium, like I think you're going to be it's honestly, I think under the circumstances he did fantastic. I don't mean to shit on Lucas Cruikshank.
Pretty good moral.
No, I like, what are you going to, it's like the same as like, I forget who said it, was some comedian, but it's like, yeah, Justin Bieber's a piece of shit asshole. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Like, he was universally hated as a 13-year-old singer and given everything he's ever wanted.
Yeah.
Of
give
course he's going
millions
to
of
be
dollars.
a trashy, shitty dude who's bad to his wife.
Yeah.
It's not an excuse, but like it makes sense.
One of my favorite J Beebs stories, and then
Yeah.
we should probably
Yeah.
call it because we're definitely at that time.
And I feel this does relate because I feel like Jay Beebs and Fred were like on the internet around the same time. These
They
like
definitely were.
haircutted kids who've like got fame because of YouTube,
Yeah.
who were like both shit on so much.
Actually, yeah, that's really true. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. Like,
I think Lucas came out a better dude because he didn't hit that level of success. Like if you watch his videos, you can tell he's a sweet guy. He's not an asshole.
yeah.
Justin Bieber is, but
Yeah. Justin Bieber also, I think, gotten to a bit younger.
oh yeah,
He was like 13 when he got picked up.
yeah, by fucking Ludacris?
I was thinking Ludacris too, but it's not Ludacris.
Usher. It was Usher.
Usher.
Yeah.
Weird that we both went to Ludacris.
Yeah.
It's like because we have that mind meld.
Yeah, they're both musicians. Yeah, no.
Luda!
No, he was.
Let me say my Justin Bieber thing.
I was like queuing you up.
Okay.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, it was Usher, and then you were gonna follow up. So I was queuing you to get back in the mood. But go on.
Thanks.
Anyway, so it was Usher, I think,
It was Usher.
that got him like at 13.
Yeah, it was.
You speak now.
It's my turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
You made a big deal about
I
it.
was being polite.
Okay. Yeah, you can speak.
Okay, thank you. I can talk now.
Yeah, you can
You're
talk now.
done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Anyway, It's so funny 'cause this is like not even related to the internet. So Justin Bieber, when he was, I don't know, like he was like 17 or some shit when like 2012 or some time. I don't care when it happened. It was like 9 years ago. It's insane.
Yeah,
Jesus. He decided he was like, it's pretty cool, like graffiti. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And which I was like at the time, I was thinking pretty much the same thing. But the difference between Justin Bieber and I is that I was so cool.
Yeah.
No, but I thought it was very cool, and I actually went and painted graffiti, and that's whatever. But he he paid the police to like give him like an escort in South America so he could paint a highway, which was like very silly because like typically in the graffiti community you're kind of like fuck the police.
Yeah.
So paying the cops was pretty funny.
It's pretty soft.
Pretty soft. Yeah. And then but this is the biggest thing is he clearly like just Googled graffiti.
Yeah.
And then started repainting the first things that came up on Google Images. I know this because I had on my desktop background, I had this like Kermit the Frog paint like piece that someone did.
Yeah.
And then I saw one of the things he painted and it was that exact thing, which you get from Googling graffiti. And then there was another one that was like style or something that you got from Googling graffiti. But the piece de la resistance was that he painted, it was like, it straight up looked like a minstrel. It looked like a monkey man with a crown and a chain, but it had like big red lips. Like it looked like like a minstrel, like a black caricature, and it was really bad. And so that like I had already didn't like Justin Bieber, but then I was like, okay, this guy's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
When
especially like so many times I'll see Buddy in an interview and it's like I think he thinks he's black because Usher, like he's speaking in that white guy trying to be black.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's the thing.
So white. Like when he's wearing like those diaper pants and shit.
Yeah, it's like the same thing with the graffiti thing. It's like you think you're so hip hop, like you come from the hood or whatever.
You made a song called Bait. Like all of his songs, like I'm not a fan of them, but I guess there's like some musical merit in the singing aspect of it.
He's a good singer.
He can play instruments, but like, dude, it's not like you're even trying to write hard songs. Like you're writing such soft songs, which is fine. I'm not a fucking talented musician.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like I'm like harder from the ghetto. Like I was super soft with my graffiti shit too. It's just like some dumb teenager.
I was
painting
just regular,
walls.
baby soft.
Yeah, but like, but it's just the added. Like at least I like stole my paint and stuff. Like like at least I was trying.
Yeah, I think it just more
at
like
least I learned to like how to paint my own letters.
Yeah, but you also like. I think the bigger thing is like he does all this soft ass music and he's like, nah, but I'm gangster and I'm driving Ferraris and I'm pissing
graffiti.
on pictures of Richard Nixon. I forgot who it was.
Right.
We peed in a bucket and he's like, fuck you. Bill Clinton. It was Bill Clinton.
Why? Because Bill Clinton got domes in the Oval Office? That sounds pretty gangster to me.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
But I think he also kind of fucked up the economy for.
Did he?
Yeah. That's the thing. I
thought that was like the only time in the last like 50 years that the deficit was like positive.
Yeah, but you have to think like a lot of the stuff that Bush came into was like following up a lot of the policies that.
It's true.
That's like the thing is like the reason that the economy kind of boomed right at the beginning of the trip. Like you don't boom the economy right when you start. He was like a month into it and he's like, look at the economy now, and it's like that was Obama.
No, I know that.
No, I know. That's just
yeah.
I think people think it's like, oh, but it's in his presidency. It's like no. But yeah, he did kind of but I doubt that's why Justin Bieber did it. I think it's because he doesn't fuck with Hillary. He probably does.
Piss on a picture of Hillary, or is that sexist?
Yeah, that's sexist. Anyway,
I want to live in a world where you can. Piss
Lucas
on any
never
picture.
tried to be hard.
Yeah, Lucas never pissed on anybody.
Well, maybe. We don't know that.
With consent, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. With consent, if he did.
Yeah.
Definitely seems like that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But he never tried to be hard. And I think my big takeaway from this, if there is a crux to this fucking short.
Yeah, it's that in a racial America, there's no justice without peace, or there's no peace without justice.
Yes. But.
Okay.
I think with Lucas specifically, it's kind of one of those things where like, if you've heard of Fred or you used to watch Fred and you're like, fuck Fred, go back and watch some of his videos compared to other videos on there. They are very of the time.
Yeah, like
And for the time, it makes sense why he got big. There's a charm to it. And like you kind of alluded to earlier, he commits.
yeah.
And I think that's a big thing with anything is like, if you can really just...
Well, even like looking back at like my old videos and stuff like that I made with Angus, like Angus is clearly committing a lot more than I am, and it makes it more like it's more fun to watch someone who's committing.
Yeah.
You know,
You just, like I'm not even committing enough.
No.
But like I mean, he did. Like he went full
above and beyond.
Yeah,
that's something.
And authenticity is such a big theme of this podcast.
Yeah.
And he lost it. To be sure, he lost the authenticity when it was more corporate. When Fred was not...
When those vampires sucked it out of him.
Well, no, it's like Fred was this creation of this kid of being goofy in his room, and then it became a Nickelodeon property.
Yeah.
And that's going to lose authenticity when it's like... Because you have to think, like, all the things that Fred actually said in his videos about his, like, mom drinking too. Like, you can't say that in a Nickelodeon movie. All the stuff that kind of made the character interesting was gone.
Remember that movie Shredder Man?
No. Anyway, we're gonna go watch Shredder Man. Any other points? What's your takeaway?
Lucas
Come on the pod.
Crushank. You did good, kid.
You did good, kid. We like you. Come on the pod. We want to ask you a million questions, mostly about the domain and what's Cosgrove up to.
Yeah. And do you want to watch School of Rock with us?
Yeah, like I would love to hook Cosgrove up with my cousin Max.
I think Max would be probably okay.
Oh,
with that.
he'd be more than fine. But then I can ask her all these like Jack Black questions and what it was like on the set of
Should we
School
just
of
cut
Rock.
out the middleman and hook Max up with Jack Black?
They have very similar energy. Like we get them jammed
It's
together.
too similar.
We need that Cosgrove. We need Cosgrove.
Cosgrove's got to be that like the
Yeah.
I didn't want to say meat in the sandwich because
No.
that sounded bad.
That's upsetting. But
Yeah.
no, we need like
She
Cosgrove
needs to be
like
that
do the
buffer. She has to be the
introduction and then it's like Max and Jack Black are like jamming and then it's like I can ask all the questions I want to ask about what like the set was like what do you guys usually eat at craft services?
Yeah, like did they have like the Welch's fruit snacks? 'Cause I know that's kind of a big thing nowadays, but was it back then?
I think they definitely had real fruit gummies.
You think they were doing better than Welch's?
Oh, absolutely. Like come on, we're talking about like what's his name?
Judd Apatow.
No, it was not Jack White. His not related to the White Stripes at all, but his last name was White. Michael something White is the writer, and then who's
Sean White?
God, I have to. This is gonna kill me if I don't Google this.
I just feel like I've been on like multi-million-dollar sets before. Not to like flex. I was a PA. I was a PA in the Predator movie. It was
Mike White, and it was Richard Linklater directed it.
Yeah.
Fantastic director.
Yeah,
Good writer.
I didn't care for Boyhood, but maybe I'll watch it again and like it more.
Yeah, but his earlier films in school. You're saying School of Rock isn't one of the greatest films ever made?
I didn't say that.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm saying is when Jack Black comes on the set, you also have to think like at the time he was rolling off like High Fidelity.
Yeah.
People loved his shit.
You okay? So you're saying they didn't have
And Tenacious
Welch's
D.
because of that?
No, they had real fruit gummies. And I bet they had like little like finger sandwiches too.
You know what's funny is that as Jack Black is becoming
And when
more-
catering came, they probably had like a nice braised beef. Or a
well,
brisket.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still think they probably had Welch's.
We'll agree to disagree on that one.
But now that Jack Black's kind of becoming like pretty popular on like Instagram or YouTube and TikTok and
yeah.
whatever, like he's kind of becoming like kind of an internet guy.
Yeah.
So then that's a sneaky way we get him on the pod.
Yeah, I'll ask him all the questions about like
Fruit snacks.
fruit and snacks, real fruit gummies. What it was Welch's
brisket.
brisket. I definitely think it was brisket. In between takes, was he ever like doing like fun jokes? Of course, that's a dumb
Was there,
question.
like,
Of course, he was doing fun jokes with the
Yeah,
kids.
was there like a guitar like on the set that, well, I guess there were because it was a School of Rock movie, but like did he ever just like kind of strum out a tune in between takes?
Do you know what's kind of fun? Because actually, this would be a reason to try to get Jack. He'd never do it, but like
He
to
might.
try.
He seems friendly.
Oh, of course he like. We just wouldn't be able to get to him. Anyway, we'd be in a position. Why am I being called right now? It's Laura. She might be in the other room. I don't know. Anyway, the point being was, so when this is such a niche scene, but when you know when they come with the shirt and the shirt says School of Rock when like the roadies are trying to come up
Yeah.
with the band name,
Yeah.
and he's just
It's
playing
not,
guitar.
I
Like,
don't think the roadies come up with the name.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's doing that. That song he's playing, I always liked that song. I
Yeah.
couldn't find it anywhere. It was actually a Channel 101 video called Computer Man.
Oh, Computer Man. I know that song.
Yeah. Computer Man. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I listened to the other day?
What?
To add on to this?
Yeah.
Sax Man, the Lonely Island song
Okay.
that has Jack Black.
You got to get them both. And he's always playing some sort of man.
He's always playing a man.
Yeah. But yeah, computer, like, so that he did videos with like Channel 101 and stuff. So.
Yeah, and like Lonely Island.
Lonely, yeah.
Who are internet guys too.
So let's get them both on the pod. Lonely and Jack Black, the special.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of When We Are There, A Biased Internet History.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Josh. You know our socials.
Yeah, I mean, they might not.
Okay, we are When We Are There Show on Instagram, TikTok. We are WW There Show on Twitter.
www there
Yeah,
show.
at twitter.ca.
Yeah.
And we also, I believe we are just When We Are There, and on YouTube, and Friend Styles on Patreon and Anchor FM. Okay, bye.
We'll figure out a better way to do
Bye.
this.
Well-
Bye.